Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Headspace podcast. This is where we talk about new rap albums, new-ish rap albums, track by track, giving thoughts and opinions on every single song. My name is Holden Stefan Roy, HSR, and today I'll be talking to y'all about K-Rino's album, Lightning Language, the first part of the four-piece, meaning that just like K-Rino, he put all that effort into dropping 4 fucking albums at the same time. Well, mine aren't going to come out at the same time. I'm doing 4 reviews, so that's what's going to happen here. Anyway, we'll get to that in a bit. For those who are new here, who have never seen this show before, you can check the description of the video to see when I'll talk about any particular song. But I like to let everybody know at the beginning that I'm not a professional. In fact, I'll introduce a bit how contextually I know K-Rino, but you definitely, person who cares enough to watch a long review on this album, you care and know more about him than I do, and I ask for your patience and I ask for your education on anything that I say incorrectly or silly, or if you just feel like you want to contribute to the conversation, to put that down into the comment section, and myself, I will, if you make that effort, do the same thing and answer that comment, and we can have a little conversation. Like today I spoke to somebody and we had like a 30 comment interaction. It was beautiful. We got to share knowledge and just cool shit. It was just exciting as he taught me about a different album that wasn't this one. I digress. I'm really about that. That's what this is. It's a growing experience, album by album that I review. I learn more, I know more, and that's kind of the goal of this entire project that you're coming to. And before I get into the review, I do want to give a quick shout out to our patrons, Ismail Gadamsi, Chris Prado, Carl, Linda Williams, and Super Old School 1994. That was a terrible fucking version. Sorry, I say it all the time. Sometimes it's a clusterfuck. Anyway, we're going to jump into this now, and this first real section in the review is me just kind of contextualizing my familiarity with the act. And I do this because K-Rino has been around since the early 80s. I believe it's 83 when he started rapping. That means that in the last, 36 years, he has amassed quite the fan base. And at any point along that journey, you watching this jumped on that train and became a fan, and you've sat with certain albums. Maybe it was the Big 7 and that's what got you. Maybe you've been around for 20 years, or maybe you're like me and you started reviewing albums, but you have a cousin who non-stop harasses you to talk about K-Rino. Not harass, that's the right word. He's a good advocate of K-Rino. He made sure I knew when Mightier Than the Sword dropped. I believe that's what it's called. If not, I sound stupid, whatever. And I reviewed that shit. And I said to myself, holy fuck, how did I not know about this guy? And it was an amazing album. I would say it's one of the best albums I've reviewed in terms of solid construction and consistency. You can watch that review if you really want to hear the whole breakdown. But then I knew the 4-piece was coming, and I've been watching for it. Outside of that, I haven't listened to a lot of K-Rino. I know about his career. My cousin has on many occasions broken down many of his accomplishments, and the last time we reviewed him, I made the mistake of saying K-Rino. Ooh, yeah, I know, I know, I'm sorry, but that happened. We've learned from that, but the fact is we made the effort to do these reviews, and when he dropped his 4-piece, it's just an incredible idea from an indie guy like him to put it out. I was gonna go buy it and then realized I'm poor, so my promise to all indie artists is when the money comes in from the efforts of what I'm doing here, I will cop every album I've ever reviewed, and that's just what it will be. For now, unfortunately, we live in the financial realms of what's possible. Still, I listened to every album, and because it was K-Rino, I made sure that before talking about any of these in the 4-piece, every song got at least 5 to 6 listens. The whole album's been played through, and particularly with Lightning Language, a little bit more than the other ones. I listened to it the week they dropped, and I was blown away. But I realized there's a lot of language there. And this next part is kind of to the K-Rino fans. So there's this website called genius.com, and as a reviewer, I rely so heavily on it, not because I don't listen to it, not because I don't hear the music. Often I hear the music and I catch things that I like and I want to write them all down. But sometimes you want to quote 8 bars, and quoting 8 bars is a lot to write down. it kind of breaks the flow of reviewing an album. It makes it a lot of distraction, so I can't really focus on what's being said. So with that in mind, a site like Genius.com is a wonderful tool. However, I came to Genius.com on the entire first week. The albums were available on YouTube, but not on the other streaming platforms. And there was no lyrics added. And then over time, lyrics have been added. Thank goodness, Lightning Language, all the lyrics are there. But at this very moment, just like none on the S project, there's none on 3 weeks later. There's 2 songs missing on the next album, Then and Now. And I'm sitting here and I'm wondering to myself, K-Rino's such a lyrical guy, right? And we all want more people to listen to him. That's why we're making this review. That's probably why you're watching this review. We both have that shared goal. And I wondered why his fan base wasn't putting these lyrics up. Because if you go to the site, there's a button to create an account. You link it to your Facebook or an email or whatever, and now you can add lyrics. And anybody who's logged in can go to any one of these songs and transcribe the lyrics. And I think that K-Rino, if you are watching this, if you were to go on this site and you were to annotate those lyrics, or even your fans, for the fans too, if anyone annotates and just describes the brilliance, what you can do is give the kids a cheat sheet. Because the expectation that a lot of the bigger names are going to talk about 4 albums dropping, if the lyrics aren't available anywhere, it's not that high. It took me this long just because the lyrics weren't available. I put so much time into the last 2 projects that it's not that I don't enjoy the music, but if most people have to pick between a K-Rino album with no lyrics available or anybody else with lyrics available, it's really not a hard choice if you have no emotional attachment to the artist. The level of work that gets added for the reviewers, and I know maybe K-Rino doesn't care about this shit, and I know that maybe you guys as fans don't care about this shit, but I'm genuinely and sincerely trying to offer some like really good advice to this fan base. Other fan bases had this lyrics up, like the song drops at midnight, the lyrics are out by 1 a.m. I know Genius hires people to do this a lot, but I also know that there are these underground communities that within the first day or 2, they make it happen. And so I put out a call to all of y'all in the K-Rino fan base to do this man a good service and have that lyrics up. You may say, but Holden, what about you? Dude, I'm doing these fucking album reviews. Every one of these took me at least 10 hours. Every last one that you're seeing me do here, regardless of the time, it's at least 10 hours of my life. So this is my contribution to the things, and this is me saying, let's organize. I make this kind of media, somebody else splits it up. Everybody grabs a song, put it up. And then we help K-Rino get some more clout. And then he gets to sell more of those units because, you know, the 500 albums sold on the last project in the therapy song was a sad thing to hear. And I understand it all, but let's play the internet game. Let's help him get some more points and shit. That's all I'm trying to say here. So if you guys are offended by that or anything, I'm really sorry. Maybe I'm speaking out of place, but I have been reviewing albums for over 2 years now, and I can tell you that it was really sad to me. It's like a sign of internet health for an artist is their Genius page, believe it or not. And the fact that only 61 people have clicked on the intro just to see what it was about. Maybe the intro is a terrible example. It's just what I have open and behind the camera. But in general, like the view counts on these songs are very small. And that's sad to me because that is metrics that count towards interest in the artist. And I want to see those numbers go up, like I said. I digress. So I'm a new K-Rino fan, but I'm a passionate K-Rino fan now because of this 4-piece. Blew my mind that much. And so I'm going to use my platform to try to help the man to the best of my human ability. Anyway, that being said, I loved the title of this project, Lightning Language. It's alliteration, which is always fun, but it just gives you an idea that this album's going to be bar heavy. It's going to be full of powerful wit, good writing. The kind of shit I believe most people expect from K-Rino. And I thought that was really cool. I thought it was a cool cover too. It seems a little sparse, a little, like a nice old school design going on. Like it feels like the kind of thing, not so much that I'd want on a poster, but I want to get it like down on a little like patch and like put it on a jacket or a school bag or something. And I thought that was a really cool design. But I don't have a lot more to say about the cover really. It doesn't blow my mind. It does its job really well and will work really cool as a patch. It's a cool, I guess, introduction to the 4-piece. And yeah, on that, the first track is Intro.
I got you, sir. No problem. A 4-piece. We're gonna get that right out to you.
This is hilarious. It's like the best dad joke intro I've ever heard, because this is what this is. It's a big dad joke. So first he's arguing with himself. He plays both characters, and he does the voice distinction so fluidly that for a half second you're wondering if like he featured somebody, but no, he's just that talented. Guy goes up to order a 4-piece, food. I'm picturing chicken. I really want chicken now, but K-Rino is like, nah, I got what you need. Nah, I got what you need. Blah, blah, blah. And he cuts him off, and they have a little argument as the guy's trying to order his food. K-Rino hands him a bag, and inside of the bag is the 4-piece, the 4 albums. And he's like, damn. And he was all sad. And I thought it was just hilarious. I was like, you know what? If the goal of an introduction, which is something I keep saying now, is to take a person from their little universe, whatever they were going on in life, and bring you down into the world of the album, the Mist does a really good job at that, because you're so caught up in the little funny dialogue that you stop thinking about like whatever the hell was going on before, and you realize that K-Rino is setting you up to listen to this project. So I think it's an apt intro. It doesn't blow my mind. It's a funny dad joke. It's enjoyable. It's better than what Google Home delivers in fucking terrible jokes. But I don't know. I have a lot more to comment on this one. I just thought it was cool, and so I gave it a 4.25. But K-Rino really schooled me because he is the new professor.
Flow through locked doors. Many fall from stress long before they acquiesce.
So it comes in, and you got a little bit of like what you would expect almost on an Eminem song, that little school bells, the little introduction bit, like taking that extra effort to kind of create the narrative, to introduce the context of the song, the new professor. So Mr. K, and he comes in, and this song is this barrage of just bars of how he, as a new professor, is going to basically teach you shit in a very complicated way. That's the simplified version of this song. But what I believe is that the whole song is a bit of a metaphor for K-Rino's role in hip-hop. Because, like, there's something that I really enjoy about his YouTube channel, is that he starts all of his videos with, it's your big bro K-Rino. And you know what? I like that, because it makes me feel like, you know what? K-Rino's like my big brother teaching me shit. And I don't know if I'm his target audience, but this little dude up in Montreal can't help but like feel so inspired by his overall sense of wisdom. Now, we really know that this is driven home, in my opinion, with the part of the song where he goes, "You will see me as ugly. I need you to love me. Life or death pop quizzes on subjects that we didn't study. I'm sure you noticed several older people here in class. These students from my former school haven't managed to pass. They've been with me since they were young, each class and each stage, because one of the courses they kept failing was mastering age." And it's almost like he takes he kind of like breaks character in a sense to kind of drive home, I think, the point of his song with those bars, where he's talking to youth and he's saying, listen, this is the rules of the game. I'm gonna teach you the knowledge. This is what it's about. But you'll notice that certain people can't get past a certain phase of life because they never really understand how to grow up. Like, I'm 31 now, and the process of becoming a self-sufficient, independent individual was a huge learning age, as K-Rino would put it. And so when I'm hearing these bars right there, and I realize, and I look around at people of similar age and different success levels, and I see a lot of what he's talking about there, and I thought that was really cool. But really, y'all care about the bars, I bet, and this song is just non-stop. So like, this is start right off the jump. I'm your new professor. I've improved the lesser message of your clueless testers. They've been removed. I am the new successor. The first assignment that I'll burst your mind with is to break the Earth's alignment, find 6 different time zones, and reverse the climate. So the rhyming is ridiculous. I mean, it's really well done. The diverse use of vocabulary, it's like, it baffles me how many words K-Rino knows, how he can make it all fit the flow. But what really impresses me is the content of the bars. every single line on, we could just jump ahead and read another section just to prove it. Before we scratch the surface, I'll just test a person first, and every 30 seconds blurt a whole semester's worth of work. The consequence for bad behavior is wrenching, sending you to detention in an evil, wicked dimension, and even though it's only minutes, the time seems like 1,000 ages. So many courses, the report cards are 1,000 pages. So the whole point of this song is that his knowledge set is going to overblow your fucking ideas. And so he uses creative ways to show that everything else you used to learn, the level of acceptance and knowledge was one thing. But what he's going to do here is blow your fucking mind. He's going to give you so much truth and so much knowledge and so much wisdom in his bars that he'll literally fuck you up. And if you can't comply, you're banished. You're taken out, But anyway, maybe that wasn't the best follow-up part to that main narrative, but it's all part of it. It's all related, Like, oh, you're going to fuck up in class, you're going to get punished. Homework is rubbed into your forehead in the form of a cream, and no matter what you do, don't ever touch this bright folder. If you miss one day of class, I'll start your whole life over. Then at recess, we play with gamma rays on average days, 10 millenniums of curriculum, all on a half a page. So it's just an intensity, this overwhelming, ludicrous sense of imagination. And I think my key word for K-Rino is imagination. This never gets boring. Granted, if the whole album was this subject of him being the great professor, or the new professor, I might get bored. But he somehow manages to fill out several minutes of just pure bars with no hook over that beat, bounce off it flawlessly, multiple flows, and ends it all up with this like great fucking line. By the way, I'm Mr. K, your new second grade teacher. So again, he's a jokester, because at the end of it all, he's letting you know, this is my expectation for your youth. Like really establishing how advanced and meta shit can get. And maybe also commenting that we need to up the bar of the education that we're giving to everyone. I like this song. I don't have a flaw or a criticism. This checks every box, in my opinion, of what a perfect song should sound like. A great beat, nothing wrong with it. Stylistically, it might not be your cup of tea, but this is really in the realms of my cup of tea. He treats it right. His rapping never gets boring. The content is ridiculous. This is a 5-on-5, and this is just the first song, and I'm already blown away. Well, what I gotta do to prove that I can keep doing this all day?
Advice that I didn't even ask for. My last resort is to get my passport or do me a NASCAR and put some miles.
This is an interesting track to me in terms of just placement. So he introduces us with the concept of he's doing an established big thing for albums. He flosses vocabulary and skills and creates bars and just establishes he's a dope-ass MC with an intention to teach. And then this next one really hit me. Just look at the chorus. What I gotta do to make you see that I stay true and get some love back too, to show the whole world that I did it all for you. And the whole tone of this song, you just feel the burden of what it must be like to still be grinding. Like, I've been grinding for a while and I've got not much success at all. And K-Rino is so much better and cooler and grinding for so much longer, and literally 5 times as long as I've grinded in my life. And like, if he still isn't popping or feeling good, I see his sub count on YouTube. That's a really interesting metric, The fact that he's writing this, he must feel very heavy on this. Like, the shit, like, my name is like dust, it blows unnoticed forever. Well, I noticed you, K-Rino, but I get it. From like a mass audience point of things, people don't really know him. K's the real deal. My skill ain't a bluff. My catalog's up on the beast to release 7 CDs in one day, and it still wasn't enough. No intention of no mention from any publication or station. I heard that line, and I said, fuck, I gotta review the 4-piece. All of it. No matter what. I have to do it. And I'm like, it's an interesting thing to me just to see this whole tone, and basically he's constantly validating what his career has been like. If you listen diligently, eventually you'll agree no lyricist in history has been consistent as me. It's a higher peak I mentally aspire to reach when I'm being penalized for my desire to teach. And I thought that was cool because lately I've had this revelation in my fanship with Eminem. Eminem has wasted his platform, in my opinion. He's a grown-ass man, about the same age as K-Rino, with 9 figures, and he's whining about his legacy instead of proving his legacy's valid. When you start rapping about your legacy, whatever, it's just sad. Whereas K-Rino is trying to up the game and rap some real shit. So in a sense, Eminem has some verses that parallel the tone of this. Like, this has a very woe is me, I'm frustrated, life is hard appeal to it. But like, K-Rino's got a really good point, and even here he stays humble. He tries to focus. A lot of men want to stray, so when I pray, when my mindset's in disarray, but at the end of the day, I want to make sure that I said everything I intended to say. And like, he's just trying to stay dedicated and focused and even just gain any kind of attention, and it just seems like it's not happening, whereas Eminem has the whole fucking spotlight on him. When anyone who goes, yo, there's no competition for Eminem, it just tells me straight up they've never listened to K-Rino, and that's just kind of where it's at. Like, K-Rino has become my case point for why I don't like Eminem as much, because when you look at the content diversity, so we're only on track 2, I guess, the second song of this series, but we both know no other song is this on this project. What do I have to do to prove shit to you? Look at all the stuff I've already done. I'm feeling depressed and unmotivated almost. It's like, I got people mad at, but he's also got lines like, I got people mad at me for not taking advice that I didn't even ask for. My last resort is to get my passport and do me a NASCAR with some miles on the dashboard. And like, he's feeling drastic. And I understand that last part where people will always give you advice, and then if you don't take it, it's like an issue. It's like, how are you going to tell me how to market my shit? How are you going to tell me how to run my life? And I feel like K-Rino's frustrated. He's been doing the pure thing for so long, and when you do the pure thing, unfortunately, in this day and age, it's not often that you'll get rewarded for that. But through his vigilance, I think he's inspired many people. And I don't know, this song just really, really, really affected me, I guess. Like, it had this deeper tone that really made me think. On the other hand, it wasn't necessarily quite as dope to me as The New Professor, while being prolific and interesting. It is a good song, and when I'm listening to the whole album, I didn't want to skip it. But if I'm talking about songs I want to go seek out, like, I'd go play The New Professor to, like, floss for other people. Whereas something like What I Gotta Do, it just reminds me to appreciate things more, which, yes, I need sometimes, but it's really what it does, is that if I ever want to complain, man, K-Rino has it harder and has more to complain about than I ever could. And that's the kind of shit I was left with. So I gave it a 4.5 on 5, and I thought it was a brilliant song. And keep in mind, for like my gradings, I don't often explain this, but a 4 is what I call a good song. It meets every metric point of what a good song's supposed to sound like, to me. Anything below that, shit starts annoying me or getting boring. Anything above that is where we get into the real shit. So 4.5 means it's a great song. I would love to hear this song again. 5 is just blew me away. It's hard to hit 5s. But 4.5 is like me trying to say, this shit is way better than what people are putting out. Anyway, let's talk about a brilliant experience in song form called My Bike.
Apprehensive, but I still said okay. Now as I waited in line, panic played.
I found when it comes to like storytelling songs, I quote less because it's just there's enough going on in the story to talk about. So he rode his bike to the store because he likes to explore. Had some coupons in my pocket so the price would be lower. I mean, I know I just kind of contradicted myself and quoted it, but like, just look at how that starts. So we know it's a story. He's on his bike. He's chilling. Now, I'm a cyclist myself. I'm using it as my exercise form in the nicer weather. And you know what? Sometimes you take the long way home just because you like to explore. Because when you're on a cycle, going up 8 blocks takes no time and it's just fun. But the fact that he has coupons, I'm all about that thrifty shit. My mom taught me like that. So the fact that he is not wasting money while also being eco-friendly on his cycle, good on you, K-Rino. That's the opposite of a Lambo. Anyway, so he rolls up to the store, and then somebody calls out his name. And as he says, I heard somebody call out my name. You hear a K-Rino in like the background as like an ad-lib, and I thought that was an excellent addition. So he's talking to his person. He's gonna get some food, and then apparently the guy notices his bike. He was about to lock it, and the guy's like, nah, no need to chain it up. I'm outside, I can watch it. K-Rino's a little skeptical. He's like, I don't know. I came a pretty long way. I don't want to be fucked here. But he ended up like trusting this guy and going inside, and it took a while. And why is it taking so long? He's feeling panicked. And I know that feeling when you leave your bike unlocked. Holy shit, you're just in and out of the store. You do not have time to shop. You are there to get back to your bike because that shit gets stolen, especially if you're in the middle of nowhere. It's like on top of losing your bike, you gotta walk. Like one time I had a flat tire and my like 28, 30-minute bike ride turned into a 2.5-hour walk. Well, it's more like 2 hours with like my bike and everything. So I get where he's coming from and how this happens. So when sure enough his bike was gone and he feels like the sky is falling, that I've felt there. I felt that before. And then people laughing when he's calling, he's posting pictures, he's looking and stalking. You know what? So when I realized that maybe this song is a little bit more than just a bike. So obviously it's about the bike because y'all heard 3 weeks later and you know that we're going to talk about this bike again. But it really could be anything. Because like I lost my Nintendo DS once with all of my Pokemon and I had transferred all of my Pokemon from like, we're talking the 3rd gen or whatever, 2nd gen. Basically I kept moving my legendaries over like you do. And I had about 8 years of having done that on this one like Pokemon cartridge that was black or whatever. I think it was black, and it was inside of my DS, and either somebody pickpocketed me or I lost it. It could have been either, and I was crushed. I mean, to buy a new DS is something within the realms of what I could afford if I really needed it. It's about the same price as a bike at the time. You can get a bike for a used one, at least for that price. But it was more about the emotional attachment to that Pokemon game. Anyway, so it's stuff like my bike has wonderfully stacks that's right in front of me, Jack. I know it's not the same, but you can replace this bike with anything. Why'd I trust this bummy cat? I'm such a dummy for that. Where's all the thoughts and the prayers? It's like nobody cares. I'm searching everybody, pushing little kids off of theirs. Man, I done flip my persona. Bro, I'm tripping, so I'm gonna run back to this house before this little boy go get his mama. And that's amazing because sometimes you do fixate on some irrational shit. Like really, all things considered, without knowing about the special facets of this bike, it really is just a story about a guy whose bike that he loved, that took him on many adventures, that he has like a whole appreciation for, got stolen and nobody cares. People don't understand it. They're just belittling it. And this is frustrating him to a point where like he basically pushes a little kid to harass him. And now it sounds so ludicrous. But from an emotional point of view, I've lived this in a different sense, but I've lived this song. And then in the 3rd verse, I miss each part of it most. It shattered all of my hopes. It had reflectors all around and tennis balls into spokes. The guy took what I had. I want to whoop him so bad. They're going to have to surgically remove my foot from his. And then one of my favorite uses. You know what comes next, but it isn't. It's ask me if I care what you think. And it goes on from there. And he's basically just kind of wishing that he had locked the bike at the end of the song. I can't believe we just spent all this time describing a song about a dude whose bike was stolen on the emotional impact of such a regular thing. And it was about here that I realized how much Eminem is wasting his potential and how lacking content he really is. We didn't need good guy, bad guy, all that bullshit. We didn't need that. We needed Eminem's bike getting stolen or some shit. Instead, K-Rino's giving it to me. So it's like, why am I going to go over there anymore? Why? Because it's clickbait. And if I make an Eminem video, I'll get clicks. And making a K-Rino video, I'm hoping. It's not about the clicks for me, actually. I hope I get clicks, but I'm making it so that K-Rino knows somebody cares. You know, or at least not just me. Me and my cousin and all of you guys watching this care, and we can tell them by doing shit like this. I digress. 5 on 5. This song is perfect. This song is so awesome to me, and I can't wait to like go back and hear like the Sorcerer Saga series and shit. Anyway, the next one is the title track on this particular album. It's called Lightning Language.
See if I'm speeches leak at a premium, reading and feeding them in my cerebral endometrium.
Braggadocious rap is an interesting subject to me. Because basically every rapper is kind of saying the same thing. Because it's a sport. Like hip-hop to me is a bit of a sport. And part of that sport is to prove why you're the best. And with K-Rino's imagination and diverse vocabulary, he's able to create braggadocious hip-hop that sounds like literally nobody else could write it. Maybe Aesop Rock or a couple others could compete with this, but this is some next level dope shit. Like, as I walk the metropolis under sovereign auspices, I'm like, what the fuck's an auspice? I don't even know. As it is, I'm gonna Google because I forgot the definition. So, the fact that he has shit, a divine or prophetic token. You're like, okay, so now I just learned a new world. As I walk the metropolis, he's a sovereign divine prophet. Oh, fuck, that's a dope line. I'm a dark spitting arsonist, right? Because fire spitting, but he's also spitting rhymes, arsonist, with a closet of carcasses. So he's murked everybody. I'll be stalking your offices, beg your pardon for heartlessness. The unfortunate part of this is I'm just getting started. List 20 artists that's marvelous, any genre, regardless if it's an author, guitar star, R&B singer, or novelist. I could flow that because you wrote it so well that anybody could flow that. That is good writing. Good writing means any rapper can rap that verse. It's actually a compliment to K-Rino, because a bad verse is not written in a way where literally like that flow is just built into it. It's like everything's fucking rhyming. It's such a cool rhythm. The whole song is in the same vein of this. I mean, there's just, I could again stop anywhere. And the thing about K-Rino that's cool, that so often how it works with these things is I'll look for significant lyrics to strike out at me. With K-Rino, I decided I could randomly stop anywhere on the page and it would be dope. And I'm right. Like, I break cosmic rules and laws, make profits using bars, make molecules dissolve and silence move through walls. I mean, it's a fascinating thing because in a sense, by making molecules dissolve, if you have that power, you really could then dissolve the wall and move silence through it in a literal sense while still sounding dope, while still hitting the rhyme scheme. He sounds fucking smart, informed, and it's just so interesting. The schizophrenic birthday clown scaring the children, flashing simple dramatics that bend and rip through metallics, sound more twisted and callous than maggots mixed in a salad, reduce your weight into ounces and propagate my announcements. So this is all dope. Let's talk about one thing K-Rino doesn't do. He's not shitting on anybody, really. He's just hyping up how good he is. He doesn't call people, I mean, he might have in the past, but he's not like calling people faggots. He's not calling people bitches. He's offering like respect to everyone in this. Like, we're talking about a full barrage, but almost 4 minutes of braggadocious shit, and he's not disrespectful to anyone. Nobody does it like that. That's fucking cool. The rhyming on this track is as impeccable as anything else you would expect on this album. It's completely interesting, so if you are looking for a more rhyme-heavy, less story-driven song, Lightning Language is right up there with New Professor, but in a more loose, he's the best kind of way. But just to show that there is still a link to some shit, like I'm foraging and exploring, orbiting in a DeLorean, because, you know, it rides off into the lightning storm. It's pretty fun. I give it a 4.5 over the beat. It's a good beat, but not one I'm as into. That would be my only gripe about this song is I could deal with a hyper beat. But the rhymes make up for it to a point where it doesn't as much matter, because when you're listening to K-Rino, it's hard to care about the beat because K-Rino's rhymes are what's sucking you in. Anyway, I've got no time to waste just rambling on.
Ain't got no time to hang around that drama crowd. The game ain't.
Now this one appears to be targeting people. So if you look at this chorus, it establishes K-Rino and his intentions. I'm just trying to win and make my mama proud. Ain't got no time to hang around that drama crowd. That game ain't what it used to be. I'll let him run it down. Then got the nerve to wonder why I never come around. So people obviously reach out to K-Rino and want to fuck with him. Probably lots of names reach out to him. People probably respect and admire him and want that cosign. And this song is a little bit of a response. He's like, man, shit isn't what it used to be. Let me kind of like tell you a little bit how I feel. Fake smiles, kissing asses. No, sir, I never believed in that. That's true. I get where he's coming from. Well, I mean, that's true that he never believed in that because I don't know better, but it's a good mentality is what I meant to say. Crash dummies, taking losses, letting people put keys in your back, showing up, trying to cap everybody, want that photo op. Your whole life is like a fake picture, touch up, airbrushed, and Photoshop. You ain't fooling me, you ain't fooling them. I can see right through them, don't get it twisted. You want Instagram flashing money, but in real life, you about to get evicted. Gosh, that's a lot. And I see these guys on my Facebook timeline. I won't ever say names. I'm not really into selling out anybody. And sometimes I see somebody flash money, and I know that if I literally just pulled up my paycheck, I'd have that kind of money. It's not impressive. It's not hard to have $1,000. Like, you can get that. You might not. What's impressive is to keep $1,000, to not have to spend it, to have $1,000 left over after you re-up. That's impressive. Still, people flash money. People talk a lot of shit. People don't really do some stuff when OGs move in silence and all that. So shit like these sneaky bastards don't respect the game. They cheating. They say they're happy for you, but they mad you eating. And I see that shit too. I'm not even famous, but because I have a self-sufficient little machine and I'm able to go ahead and say shit like, I don't know if I really need your advice. I'm kind of doing my own thing. People don't like that. People like to tell you what's up, and that's just kind of where it is. So I really appreciated this. Some people are cloud chasing like a fiend, my hope for fame and everything between, lying about how clean you are, I see in your crib, I see in your car, doing everything backwards, use a clown, we screaming peace, you screaming war, rap about how you selling drugs, talk about how you killing the club, roasted your ex on social media, but everybody know you're still in love. And so that's where it gets real interesting. So it's kind of saying that, like, you're going to be fake because you know it's going to get you the money. And this isn't a secret. Record executives push people to sell certain images because they know that those impressionable teenagers, the ones who are looking for role models, are going to pick the rapper who's popping. And the rapper that's popping might not be what the rapper really is. It's just what the rich executive is using to push the image. So to promote that is kind of bad. It's where he can say some shit like, we screaming peace and you screaming war. Like I just said on the last song, he didn't target anyone. He just kind of bragged. Here, he's pointing out negative, toxic environments, you know? And he just kind of calling people on their bullshit. And then in the third verse, he keeps it going. People really don't practice. People don't really want to grow or learn. And everyone dropping shade like sunglasses. I keep my hand in the past and lane. The whole game is so backwards, man. The facts are too hard to ascertain because your friends and your enemies act the same. That line really hit me because, like, it is kind of confusing. The truth is you don't really know who's using you and who's down when both of them are going to be there for the ride. And it gets kind of hard to understand it. And I mean, I don't want to throw shade at anybody, but not every person who's no longer working with me on this channel left in a good terms. Let me mean, Sid left well, and you know, shit like that. But other people, it wasn't really like a good terms. So I look at the situation, and as I kind of rise up, I can relate a lot more to what he's describing here. So I suppose as a 31-year-old looking for role models, I can appreciate a guy like this kind of breaking down how to spot a person who wants a meal ticket. And I thought this was a very enjoyable song. It has a very good hook that I thought was really cool. It isn't blow my mind material, but we are halfway through this project, and every song's been about something different, and every song has been unique, and it has to be said that is an impressive thing, living up to one of his earlier claims about how diverse and prolific he really is. All things considered, it's another 4.5 on 5 for me. Really great song. And the next one is interesting, and he's already answered what needs to be said.
Be the tears, meanings are clear. God laughs at the things that we fear. When we believe, he'll start.
Now, something K-Rino and I have in common is I believe in God. I don't know that I believe in Christianity the way that he might manifest it, but I believe in God and the humility and a lot of the things that he's describing here. So to hear somebody describe a version of God that makes sense to me, not like what the church says, not like what other people say, I thought it was really cool. Because he's saying shit like that prayer you prayed is already answered. That call you made is already answered. Want him to make a way, you got to make one too. If you believe in him, ain't nothing you can't get through. And so, this song kind of shows how God has things in the works to make sure that when you make your prayers, it's been answered already. He's already got the plan in place. It's just a matter of you walking there. So he uses his verses to contextualize shit. Sometimes you don't have a clue about how you're going to make it through. All you know is when the smoke clears, you usually do. Before the stress and depression and the panic is mixed, you look up and notice the issue's already been fixed and be like, wow, be like, how? Feeling shocked and amazed. But why are you reacting that way? Don't you remember you prayed? And that's an interesting point. I often pray at the worst times of my life, and then things work out every time. I've never had a moment where it just didn't work out. Sometimes it is the most Hail Maryest of last minute shits. Sometimes it's somebody like your girlfriend saying, fuck it, I'll deal with this shit, and giving you that look. Sometimes it's anything, but God just answers your prayers, you know? Like, I've seen it for years. It could bring me to tears. Meanings are clear. God laughs at the things that we fear. When we believe it, start pouring the gifts out freely, smashing obstacles to show you that impossible is easy. If you don't believe in God per se, think about it from like the whole visualization argument. It's essentially the same thing. Have faith, believe, and you can achieve. God or secular, the actual knowledge doesn't change, which is super fascinating to me if you really understand both sides of it. The second verse follows suit, and he really does kind of keep going. You ever been totally broke when the rent was due and seemingly out of the blue it got sent to you? We don't believe in no magic, just a sowing of seeds, virtuous deep, reap blessings in a moment of need. And that's kind of how it works. You're supposed to sow seeds to watch them grow, like do good deeds and act in certain ways, and then they create almost like a karmic balance of repayment in the sense that God's got you set up as long as you play the game right. Even if you don't, God will still have your back in a sense, as long as you ask and as long as you open your mind to it. I don't want to talk too much more about just the religion side of it all, but I really do think this song is amazing. It sounds so honest, and it's not preachy. It's just a matter of like, how are you like insulting God when a FedEx package, you know, like, but you see you in a rush, your image of blessings are backwards, you expect him next day like a FedEx package. Coincidences, imaginary luck is fraud, because you get luck the credit you insulting God. And that is something people do. So his point is put credit where it's due. If you're going to pray to God when the times are rough, don't act like it's lucky when you win the lottery. Thank God for the good and the bad and all of it. Anyway, this song, it really hit me hard. I thought it was really strong. And he kind of calls you on your shit, and he doesn't do it in a way where it's like bad. But if you have an understanding of God and religion and any of the major ones, what he's saying would apply. It's really just have faith, and then, you know, basically keep looking for him and keep opening up your mind. And then he kind of wraps it up. I'm a fool still striving, still lost but I give. I'm not telling you what I heard, I'm telling you what I live. And that's how I felt the realist there, because he acknowledges what he doesn't know. He acknowledges what he still has to learn. But in light of that, chooses to live charitably and share his life experiences. So you can't tell him he's wrong, because this is his experience. I appreciate that. I thought it was really cool. I gave this song a 5 on 5. I thought it was really imaginative. It was a really good song, and I think it even serves like a good social purpose on top of just being an enjoyable thing to listen to. He really is a teacher. Like, it's not just flossing. Anyway, the next track, I believe, is for the ladies. It don't matter.
Is striking. You could be working a 9 to 5, a straight housewife and single mother.
This is like another one of those songs where I feel like it matters to write things like this. It's like how many women are gonna hear this song and know that K-Rino loves all women and appreciates and respects them. Like, it don't matter what you got or what you have. It don't matter the things you did in your past. Like, how many guys judge a girl because like she fucked a bunch of people? Like, come on, dude. It's just stupid. You're that insecure. Or if you are that insecure that other cock has entered your girl, then in my eyes, you're not a very mature person. But like, that's what I mean. That kind of shit. Like, how does it matter what they did in their past? It don't matter. I just want to be with you up. I just want to show you some love. It's not my place to judge. I've taken that approach with my girl. I'm in a happy relationship. Look at that. It's really like, people have pasts, and frankly, the most interesting people you'll meet have had a past where you can easily judge. So instead of doing that, give these people who will do the craziest shit to you the most love, is all I'm trying to say. You have a crown, whether small or packing some extra pounds, whether dark skin, light skin, yellow or brown, how you holding it down is still so hard to believe. Natural hair, long hair, short perm, dreads or weave. So many diverse versions of a queen that is striking. You could be working a 9 to 5 or straight housewifing, single mothered, married, one deep or not ready to settle, living in a simple home, mansion, apartment to ghetto. All of you are equally special, so your worth should be known. Young or growing, a few stretch marks or you're perfectly toned. And I love it. It's just literally like, I've never heard a song that just took time to describe and try to include any kind of woman you could think of, and just to say that all of you are queens, and like all of you are something that should be appreciated. And you know, while verse 1 focuses maybe more on like physical body and aesthetics, verse 2 is more personality and just other things. I mean, yeah, even still some look shit, like little belly fat, top heavier trim, but also personality, outgoing or shy and you compose, plain Jane wardrobe or a lot of colorful clothes, and got a degree or a GAD or you just dropped out early, and the whole song's like this. But what I really liked was domestically abused, single, separated or divorced, it don't matter. You know, it's like you really should just be loved for who you are. And he does bring up some bad, worse topics, like got violated by a stranger and can't even discuss it. A lot of sisters been molested by a man that they trusted. No babies, a bunch of babies. Life was hopeless and hard. Drug abuse, custody wars, deep emotional scars. And it just flows on, verbal attacks, just all sorts of shit. But at the end of the day, an appreciation, because no matter what shit a woman has gone through, not one of us people, especially as men here on the planet, would be here without a woman. So we should all maybe have a little bit of respect for women. I thought this was a beautiful song. I thought it was really enjoyable. I normally don't like girl songs very much, but this was special and different, and this was educational to men. This is how you should treat women, and I thought it was worthy of a 4.6 in my preference game. All right, let's talk about Everytime.
Lynn playing in the back. What's real crazy, you ain't heard from this cat in so long that you ain't.
This one, it feels like it's a companion piece to, I think it's No Time, where he doesn't have time to waste with like people who aren't going to, play ball properly, or who aren't going to grind, or aren't going to put in the work. On the other hand, Everytime is like, I can't stand that people are so interested in taking advantage of you. And it kind of gives you examples of how people take advantage of you. So it's like he doesn't have time for it, and then expands further, kind of describing maybe why that other song even exists. So it's like you may have been questioning, come on, K-Rino, what the fuck are you even talking about? Well, he gives you a couple songs and then he answers you. So every time they call you, they want something. They'll hit you till your cash is flat, nothing left to add to that. That's a hard chorus. So maybe K-Rino's not in the best position because a lot of people have taken advantage of him over the years, and that's not cool. I mean, that's just my 2 cents. I think, like, if you are, like, I don't like the idea of accepting charity. I like the idea of something like a Patreon, where I produce a show, and you like my show, and we work out a deal where you tell me what to review, so you give me money. That's a fair exchange. But I don't know that I like lending money to people or anything like that, because it's just such a risk. But K-Rino starts us off here with, I'm going to be real with it. I don't see how you still kick it. They don't see you as a friend, they see you as a meal ticket. When they call, you already know they're about to go live. Like, how fucked up is that? Like, you call somebody, and then they go hit live, so now they're on the internet abusing the privilege of knowing you, taking your privacy. That's some fucked up shit. Like, don't ever do that shit to me. Let me know we're going live beforehand. They either need some money, a place to stay or ride. As soon as you answer the phone, they're ready to mash you, especially when they start with, man, I sure hate to ask you. And then they start begging hard as hell and all that shit. It just flows from there. And I love the line when he's like saying, all that's missing is like a violin playing in the back, like the world's tiniest violin fucking playing your sympathy song as you're coming in. And like, and I can only imagine that, like, if I ever do get to a point where I have money, that like everybody's gonna be hollering at me for favors and shit. I'm not as nice as K-Rino. Whenever they hit you now, you duck and they leave a message. Boy, you should be a hard man to get in touch with. Yeah, you're right. I can't rock with you, brother, because I ain't taking care of you, homie. I'm not your mother. I get that shit. I've started to try to be a better friend and caring and giving and shit. But people will take advantage of that shit. And my rule of thumb is kind of, if you're not willing to help yourself and do what you got to do for yourself, you're not really worthy of my time. But when people, like, I can't imagine a life where it's like, man, you blowing up my phone over that punk ass money. Sorry, this is, you lend the person money, and then all of a sudden they like, you call them to get that money back and they tripping up. But like, at the same time, he tells you secret, you were crying when you went to borrow it. But like, yo, let's say I give you $200 and let's say I have $10,000 in my bank account. Just because I have $10,000 in my bank account doesn't mean that I don't need that $200 back. That $10,000 may already be spent in my head. I might need that $200. So just because you're in a worse place or whatever, like, time, I don't know, man. It just makes me sad that people would take advantage of him like that, especially considering how cool of a guy he is. I don't know. I like the part where he's like, I hate when people use their children as a begging excuse. I got to get Junior some school clothes and don't know how. And then he responds with, you got $200 tennis shoes on right now. And it's like, people, I once tried to bum a cigarette while holding a BlackBerry and learned really quick that you can't have nice shit and then ask for charity. If you have the nice shit, you can always sell that nice shit, get worse shit, and then have what you need. Anyway, this song was very enjoyable. This song had another great message in it. It really hit me hard. It was relatable. It's something where, again, I feel like he's kind of saying it as a warning to people like myself who are trying to build businesses and make something more of our life, or, you know, put our city on the map, because, you know, that shit's apparently really important. And Montreal has a hip-hop scene. People should care about it, in my opinion. He did that for Houston. I'm going to try and do what I can for Montreal, inspired by the South Park Coalition. I digress. This song's a 5. It's fucking incredible. The next one is It's Real Out Here.
When somebody's pressing us back, you created the ghetto, man. How you expect us to act? He got.
When I really start thinking about like song placement, because I mean he had 46 songs. He obviously had to place them in a specific arrangement. Real Out Here is a response to Everytime, if you really think about it. So every time he's pointing out how people are acting kind of bummy and crummy. But here he's now explaining the context surrounding those same people, so that you're not meant to hate them. You're meant to offer them compassion and love, because while they are hitting him up like that, and that shit is happening, you just also still have the hood being the hood. And if he's from Houston, it's definitely real hood, not like other places which aren't the same kind of hood. And I'm not implying my city, I'm saying in general. But like, he really just spits this gritty picture. Listen, it's real out here. Nothing becoming easy. What's the deal out here? People be acting greasy. Been a long while since we had a good hot dinner. We chasing money, but that money went as fast as a sprinter. It's getting wild in these streets. They say that we crazy, but y'all the ones building the prisons to lock up their babies. Tough to get ahead when somebody pressing us back. You created the ghetto, man. How you expect us to act? You got a pistol on him, plus in his truck a machine gun. Hard to learn to be a man if I never seen one. I mean, I can't say that anything that really gets said in this track is new. I mean, this is to the sadness. I had an epiphany across the way of reviewing these albums, is you can pick a rapper from any decade and any city, and as long as they're from the hood or any kind of poor environment, or they're black, because, I mean, there are obviously rappers who don't do this, but they all seem to be able to mention this song. This song appears in some way, whether it's the anti-police brutality forum, whether it's the context setter. But when people out there ever want to comment to you on how do you know this shit's real? How do you know people are exaggerating? How do you know that police are killing and being unfair? Well, my answer is now, because every rapper, whether it's K-Rino to Migos, has that song. Every rapper. It's kind of whack. That is hundreds of thousands of people probably who have shared their story, and yet it's all disregarded. Every album, let alone just rapper, every album seems to have this song. So like, I don't want to like come off in a way like where it sounds like I don't appreciate it, because it's really well done. It's extremely well written. Plot and plan when the sun's out and move at night. They got dropped into Greece and ain't choose to slave. Hard as hell trying to make a way beyond odds. You see thugs when you look at them. I see young gods. I think gods in this sense is the like Nation of Islam term for black men. You see criminals and drug dealers headed for jail. I see poor people trying to fight their way out of hell. Now, while I may not be black, I did grow up poor, so shit like this is kind of relatable. The poor white crack-filled communities in Montreal are just as fucked up as some of the other ones. Not that they're so prevalent anymore. Gentrification's a funny thing, but I'm not even trying to make comparisons between the hoods. I'm trying to say that poverty is a real thing, and it impacts a lot of people. And I empathize with what he's trying to say here, because of how people treat poor people. They must treat black people even worse, is I guess the point I was trying to make. Anyway, this song is really cool in terms of the knowledge. Just stuff like it ain't nothing to see. Hear some gunshots flying around. Picture a 5-year-old seeing a dead guy on the ground. Watch it. And I do picture it. And it breaks my heart. And it's so compassionate. And what's so admirable is his patience and his wisdom. He doesn't sound like an angry young person wilding out. He sounds like a sad older person trying to just have the patience to educate and still try. And you know how you know he's legit? On his YouTube channel very recently, he's talking about the Houston March, how he wants to break the misconception that people don't care about black on black violence and they don't march for it. Everyone focuses on police violence. Well, K-Rino, you taught me that you at least are willing to play that game, and educate me to knowing that you're going to have this march. So I thought I would just share it with everyone to show that, yeah, people like K-Rino are doing it, and you don't know about him because he's not rapping about the bullshit that's popping, because he's rapping about real life shit. Anyway, 4.7, 5 on 5. I feel like I'm getting sad over this review because, like, it's baffling to me that this guy is just not getting the love that I think he should get. Anyway, Everything Is Great is the next one on this project.
Let me hear you say it again. The Wordsmith, I'ma kill him till they say nobody.
I like this one because in light of the more heavier and more negative side of things, you might be left feeling like K-Rino's life is a little bit hard. He said several things on here. His bike gets stolen. You know, people don't appreciate him. What does he have to do to get people's attention as a rapper? But then in spite of all that, everything's great. Because the fact is, like, living good, no capping is real, still got a lot of money left after the bills, you know? So he's like, you know, I'm okay. I went from a young, no-name straight to OG. I'm like, that's true. Walk around well-fed because the streets supply me. You ain't got to watch your back if you ain't cheat nobody. Lay low, keep your mouth closed. Folks is jealous. Can't nobody talk your business unless you tell it. You know, and he just kind of shows down that, like, self-made entrepreneur. My work is legal. If I see you doing good, I'm going to clap that up. If you reach your hand up, I'm going to dap that up. He's got love for everybody. He's got love for everything, you know, and he kind of lets you know also that you might slip every now and then and bust your chin, and sometimes you got to take a loss just to win. Can't promise you in life a tear won't stop. Can't, you know, forget about his people still locked up and all the fact that some are coming home, some are not, some are still out there hustling, and he just kind of paints this picture where he appreciates the wins and successes of everybody, and his mindset is, if you take care of people, if you take care of the changes in yourself, if you're taking care of your babies you don't want already, I'm making my own changes, can't fall in this game because every day I hear the money bags calling my name, so tell them. So as long as you're able to breathe and fight, you can still get out there and do it. And if you keep grinding and you establish yourself in an honest way, well, basically people are going to have your back and make sure you're all cool, even if you stumble and fall. The song's pretty good. The song follows through. I feel like it's inspirational. I feel like it picks you right up. And I like the fact that he kind of thanks his haters. Got a message for the haters who've been breaking the rules. The only thing I love more than winning is making you lose. If we let the fake win, then the real won't grow. You got to rep for your partners who ain't here no more. So I'm here making this review, K-Rino, because, you know, everything helps. Whether or not my significance is whatever, at the very least, somebody made a media piece on this. So there you go. I'm blown away. The inspiration, his willingness to teach, the attitude and perspective this man lives with his life. Like, just the idea that you don't have to watch your back if you don't fuck people over. Like, it's just such an interesting, revolutionary way to approach shit. I don't know. I'm saying that arrogantly, with all of my white privilege, not coming from the hood, but I do work in corporate America under snakes. A lot of the shit that hip-hop has taught me has helped me to navigate corporate America. Anyway, one more on this project. One more for the first of the 4-piece. It's called The Wordsmith.
Let me hear you say it again. The Wordsmith, I'ma kill him till they say nobody.
I realized I may not have given my grade on the last one, so that one was a 4.5. Anyway, let's talk about The Wordsmith. This has one of my favorite intros to a song on this album. You know, man, there comes a time in every rapper's life when he starts to run out of things to say, man. And you know, and I think that I have not reached that moment. Let's go. And I'm like, that's an intro. If you're going to call your song The Wordsmith, you gotta be like creative and shit. And I think it's funny that how certain rappers like Eminem have ran out of things to say regardless of their fame and clout and skill. But K-Rino does not. How do you know? Because when he woke up in the morning, it was evenings, and he thinks of thoughts that are intriguing, like a cannibal eating a vegan. I mean, I don't know if that's 100% intriguing, but it kind of is a little bit. It rhymes well. But I mean, a cannibal is, I guess if you're gonna eat pure-fed food and you're a cannibal, you're going to go with like the pure-fed organic version, you would eat a vegan because they eat healthier. Anyway, don't take me seriously. I'm only teasing. Shit, I just broke down your bar taking you serious. Saw my toe and got even, and me being mad was the reason. I saw my foe and got even, and me being mad was the reason. See, I'm a track pro and a protractor. You're just a pro actor, so every fact you know is no factor. You named them, I will fade them. It's this for like the whole fucking song. He just kind of just says shit. He makes perspiration sweat because he's the wordsmith. All right, I'll say it again, K-Rino. You're the wordsmith. You'll kill them all to the end, dropping words like bird shit. Ha, bird shit. I just cracked a smile. Like, that was hilarious. This whole crazy verbose shit, and he rhymes wordsmith with bird shit, which is obviously, like, he knows he could have done anything, and he just made a ludicrously silly line. Anyway, the whole thing is like stacked full of bars like this. Like, there's no comparison. I'm greater than this fool. I shot the school teacher before we could make it to school, and the gap between me and rappers is huge in disparity. You clowns are so blind you couldn't see through transparency. Right? Because it's transparent, so you can see through it, and you're so blind that you can't see through the see-through. Anyway, it's basically the whole song. It's really dope. It's really enjoyable. It's a lot of puns and shit, and I give it a 4.5 on 5. I'm a little more drawn at this point, we'll say, to like the more meaningful shit, but the fact that he's able to balance the really meaningful shit with like the random wordy shit, and is able to imaginatively, consistently drop like new ideas in his lines, it's like, dude, who the fuck is this guy? Anyway, 4.5 on 5. And yeah, so I guess that's the end of this album review of the first of the 4-piece, the Lightning Language by K-Rino. I give this album a 4.71. Spoiler alert, it's not my favorite album in the 4-piece. There are higher grades being given. But this might be one of the highest grades I've actually given on the channel. It's in the top 30 or 40 albums. Possibly even higher than that. But I love this. It checks off so many boxes. Great writing. Great clear delivery. You don't need the lyrics to hear what he's saying. You need the lyrics to quote it when you're doing a fucking review. You hear the beat selection is all over the place. Having listened to 5 of his albums now, I would prefer to hear him do something kind of like Meth Lab Season 2, where he did some crazy modern shit. I think that would be fun to listen to personally. But at the same time, if he just kept doing this forever, he is like the ultimate at this content shit. It is so impressive to just see how diverse the subject matter is. We both know, I heard the rest of them, and I know that it doesn't get worse from here. So it's really cool. It's really enjoyable to listen to. I can't stress enough how quality his rhyming is, how diverse his vocabulary is, how impressive K-Rino really, really is in the art of being an MC. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. I can't wait to hear what you have to say in the comment section, and I look forward to reading those, and we can have a little conversation. I will be getting out the rest of my 4-piece reviews out as soon as I can. I'm not going to interrupt the normal schedule, but I'm going to plug it out through extra days as bonus episodes. So I'll be recording them over the next couple of days. Everything's reviewed. Everything's ready to just record, edit, and get out. So instead of every day, one a day, or whatever. By the end of the week, they should all hopefully be out. By the end of Sunday of next week, 7 days from now, my goal is to have all the 4-piece out. In the meantime, or whatever day, I'm recording this on Sunday, even though it's coming out on a Monday. Fuck, I'm just rambling now. Let it come when they come. I hope you enjoyed this. I look forward to talking to you. Special thanks to the patrons Ismail Gadamsi, Chris Prado, Super School 1994, Carl J, and Lindell Williams. They support what we do here because, as you can tell, I'm trying to put all this effort into the art of the album and give love to people. So because of that, they help us, and they get to swing our hand as we do more and more Patreon-driven requests. I also get access to content early, and well, because of them, we're able to grow and keep doing this. Like, you can't keep doing this if there's nobody willing to support you. You just psychologically can't. So the impact of having these people supporting us is greater than anything else. Otherwise, you can hit that subscribe button, the like button, comment. Like I said, we can have a chat. I dropped a project recently if you want to check that out. It's down to the Spotify links there, but you can find it on whatever platform. Anyway, I really enjoyed talking about this project, and yeah, got some more to take care of, so I'll catch you soon. Thanks.